Hi everyone, and welcome back after a long time to Star Trek Online. Now you will notice that I currently am not piloting the Sathanas. This is actually a ship that I've been wanting to try out for a little bit of time. It's what I've named the Dralafi. For those of you who are of the Babylon 5 persuasion, you'll realise that Dralafi is Minbari for Black Star. And it's a Tal Shiar adapted destroyer, a Lobi lockbox ship. Sorry, not a Lobi ship, but it's a lockbox ship. And I was fortunate enough to open not just one but two of these, and that's the reason I'm hanging around 70 odd million credits despite buying quite a lot of stuff, such as this plasmonic leech. Now, the Dralafi is what I'm going to be doing a lot of ships in. A lot of videos in, I think, because really the Sathanas as it is probably a little bit outdated at this point with the whole expansion to Delta Rising. I will probably still use her a couple of times. She's still not terrible, you know, but I think that the Dralafi is stronger. I'm actually using a Drake build with it, but the point of this video isn't to go over the build for the Dralafi. Just notice that I've got like the fleet vulnerability consoles at Mark 13 and various other things, and that this ship is just as tanky as the Sathanas, if not more, and it should deal a lot more damage. I'm really learning how to fly it at the moment because the Sathanas is an auxiliary to battery ship, is very much sort of a MASH spaceship. The Dralafi, you have to time stuff a little bit better and things like that, so it's definitely a learning curve, but I think that she's pretty awesome as a ship, to tell you the truth. I mean, she looks a bit freaky because she's partially, you know, she's got Borg technology in her, but I think that she's a decent ship, even though she's ugly as sin. But anyway, this video is basically just going to be a Tour the Galaxy video while I talk about how things are going, react to some of the things that are going on the forum. So let's bust out the Sathanas. Here she is, still as sovereign-like as ever, and she doesn't have a warp core in at the moment, which is a little bit embarrassing. Let me just check that this is the right one for Tour the Galaxy. Oh, it doesn't matter because I'm going to load my Tour the Galaxy loadout. Doesn't really matter with the duty officers. I don't use any special duty officers. But yep, I upgraded her to T5U as well, just because I could. But yeah, she's a little bit outdated now. She's still fun to fly though, so I'll definitely keep flying her a little bit. It's one of the parts of playing this game that I actually want to get into, is that the role-playing part means as much to me as the you know, being, you know, having like max DPS and that sort of thing in the as far as the game goes. So I'm starting off in the Alpha Centauri block, Tenebia sector, and I'm going to head into Iota Pavonis. I'm not going to talk too much about the Tour of the Galaxy. Literally just follow my route. If you have a have a Borg engine, the assimilated engine, and if you have the Solnay warp core, which is gettable from I believe it's the mission where they first discover the Dyson sphere, sorry, or they first discover the second Dyson sphere, that is a reward from that mission, so it's very easy to get, and it makes Tour the Galaxy a doddle. And when you get Tour the Galaxy fully completed, you get 475,000 energy credits, which, you know, while it's not going to buy you anything massively significant on the auction house, it will, you know, it'll keep you going and keep you ticking over. So Delta Rising has just come out, and there's been an awful lot of bleating on the forums regarding it. Mainly there's been a lot to do with both the crafting system and the new T6 or Tier 6 ships. This was bound to happen the moment they raised the level cap. Whenever you raise a level cap in an MMO, there's always going to be a problem with the fact that you potentially make a lot of the gear that people are using outdated. However, Star Trek Online has a slightly, it's slightly different the way that it looks at things from my point, because unlike a game like, say, Diablo 3, which I've been playing quite a bit of on Caravel Gaming, all the loot in Diablo 3, aside from 1 or 2 bits, is got from random drops. In Star Trek Online, pretty much no kit is got from random drops. Pretty much everything is crafted, either through the reputation system, which was usually what was done, or now the crafting system, or the fleet system. So it is usually from one of those 2 or 3 things that you would get all your equipment. Now, what Cryptic has done in order to make sure that this lot isn't obsolete is they have allowed you to upgrade your items. Now, this is a plus and a minus, because someone did the calculations the other day, and upgrading, the way the upgrade system is done at the moment, upgrading it to be upgrading a ship that has all Mark 12 kit to have all Mark 14 kit, which is the new highest level, would cost something like 120 million energy credits, and it would cost 300,000 dilithium, which would probably take something along the lines of 45 days worth of grinding, assuming you did it every single day. Now, first of all, for me, I don't actually think 45 days is a long time on one character. It's like, if you actually like playing the game, and spoiler alert, I like playing the game, even though I'm not like massively top end, then it gives you, for me, it actually gives you something to work towards. If you want to buy it, you can still buy it. You know, that's the whole thing with a free-to-play model. The game is free to play, not free to get to the end game. And to be honest, I actually think that the game, I mean, the time I quit, everyone had the same kit on every ship, and it just got rather dull, to tell you the truth. And I enjoy playing around with, you know, I enjoy kind of playing around with builds. Alright, I use mainstream builds a lot of the time. I'm still using auxiliary to battery on the Sathanas, and I'm using what's called a Drake build on the Dralathir. So there's really, but I'm also contemplating getting, say, a Vesta and torpedo boating it, or something like that. There's plenty of stuff that you can think of to do. You don't always have to go for sort of max DPS on this. Now, the one thing that Cryptic have done, certainly with the space stuff, is the game really caters towards having monstrous DPS at the moment, and that's just the way unfortunately that's just the way space combat is at the moment. The sort of classic thing that everyone knows of, like heal, tank and DPS. Realistically now it's DPS, DPS, DPS. That's basically just the way the game goes. And going back towards the upgrade system that has recently come out, everyone's going, oh, to get Mark 14 gear you do blah blah blah. Well, someone just posted, I think it's Wizards of STO, recently posted a video of them cracking, or one guy's Ryan cracking 100k DPS, and he did not have all Mark 14 kit. So you don't need all Mark 14 kit in order to beat the endgame or set records in the endgame. So really, one of the things I just want to say is like they're screwing over the casual player. It's like the casual player isn't going to go for Mark 14, isn't going to want Mark 14 kit on 9 characters. You know, that's not what a casual player does. A casual player, which really is what I am, you know, just plays 2 or 3 hours a day and sometimes doesn't play at all, is, I mean, I'm quite happy to have something to aim for. I don't grind on alts. Everything that I've got has been off one character. Yes, I'm handicapping myself doing that. I could potentially have sort of 2 or 3 alts doing nothing but grinding dilithium. But at the end of the day, I'm perfectly happy with the way the game is. I mean, if you look at the assets that I've got a load of marks of every type. I've got 400,000 unrefined dilithium, and so the only thing I'm short of really is refined dilithium, because obviously if you have multiple alts you can refine 24,000 dilithium a day, turn it into Zen and get it all on one character. So I am missing out a little bit on that, but I've still got the only thing that I'm doing at the moment, I'm making the Nukara deflector, I believe, at the moment, because that's like part of a pretty good kit. and I'm making the Dyson Sphere stuff. But again, that'll be done in 2 weeks, so I'm not really, I'm not really seeing where this is a big thing. I'm free to play in the game, aside from occasionally buying a ship. So I'm not... I obviously see where some people are coming from, in that they think that, the game's really being made sort of unfriendly to people who have sort of a load of alts. It's making the game quite unfriendly to that, and it is, in a way. If you're free to playing, it's going to take you, it's going to take you months to be able to kit out all your alts in Mark 14 stuff. So, that is definitely something that's going on. But a casual player, I don't think is going to be too badly affected by this. You can still do respectable DPS, and you can still have respectable tankiness without having Mark 14 gear in every spot. And, if you're playing on normal, which a lot of people are, and I still do occasionally, it's like you can comfortably do things without having to resort to having massively end-game kit. Occasionally I might want to go into an STF and probably maybe record it as a skittleboat or something like that, just to, not because I know it's an end-game kit, not to troll everyone, just because I want to see if I can actually make a skittleboat not be completely and utterly terrible. Now, that might not be possible because skittleboats are awful, but you could always try an A to B auxiliary to battery build and just taste the rainbow. You could always just try that, but there's plenty of stuff that you can try without having to just constantly endgame it. Now, those people who are doing endgame at the time, yeah, it's going to be a grind getting there, but for me, part of any game, or part of a lot of game, is the journey getting to the end. And if you actually want to, if you actually enjoy the experience of grinding the game, or if you enjoy the experience of playing the game, then it shouldn't get to you. You'll have to play it a little bit more. Now, obviously, there is a little bit of there are issues on other sides, but to be honest, as someone who is a casual player, I'm not someone who's going to be doing a podcast on it. I'm not someone who's going to be setting DPS records. If I get I will be someone who just does early 5-figure DPS, and that's probably going to be my lot until I start really learning how to fly it, blah blah blah. So I really think that that's going to be the I really don't think that the amount of hatred that's gone in, really, if I want to use a word, is that warranted. I like the fact that we're on regular, I do actually like the fact that we're on regular updates now. I did enjoy the storyline for Delta Rising, so it's nice that we're getting this new content coming in now. It's nice that we're getting the voice actors coming in. It's cool that they upgraded some of the missions while I was away, so it's like some of the Borg missions actually make sense now, rather than being a complete and utter mess. But overall, I'm not actually too upset with the way things have gone. Now, Tier 6 is something that I can definitely see being slightly upsetting, because if you get... Obviously, we've had the T5U upgrade, which gives your ship stats equivalent to a Tier 6 ship. So you'd think that's okay, but the problem for me is the traits that you get. Because what they've introduced, I'll bring it up on the screen. What they've introduced is these masteries, 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll see that for the Sathanas, it's damage resistance, hull regeneration, transwarp to Gamma Orionis block. I think it's more resistances and then a big hull increase. Well, Tier 6 ships have a 5th mastery trait, and once you get that trait, it applies to all of your other ships. And some of those traits are really overpowered currently. And that is really not good news for maintaining diversity, because again, it means if you want to play endgame, you're bottlenecked into having a certain ship, and that never It sort of used to be the case, but because the Scimitar was always and still is the best ship for doing DPS, but it means that you're really bottlenecked if once the game starts developing more and more and more, you're going to be bottlenecked, and the people who have actually bought ships could very well sort of resent that. But I bought the Sathanas because it's a Regent, but I've had my fun with her, and if she's underpowered now, which I can certainly see her being, then I will pack her away for a bit and play something a little bit different. But I can see where that's going. And I think it's all these things that have come in at once have definitely made things a little bit, a lot of people have had like built up frustrations over it, and it's really not helped. So I will end my little rant on that. I'll just say I kind of enjoy it. I will be making videos for it, so that's not really a big deal. Quick shout out for the fleet that I am part of, the collective. We are on a sort of recruitment drive, especially in the EU region. If you guys are interested in joining a fleet or joining with me, maybe being on some videos, etc. You don't have, I mean, most people have a fleet these days, but let's say you are one of the people who don't have one, or you're looking to leave yours. Alan Smith, who's one of my subscribers, has actually joined in with the fleet, and I'm actually hoping to I'm hoping we can get some things together, start running some elites and things like that, so that we can advance an elite, so that we can all help each other on that front, and hopefully get some decent content out. And at least then it'll be funny if I record the vent, I suppose, and I can just do a mirror universe run where everyone fails miserably. So that's going to be it for this reintroduction video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed touring the galaxy with me, and I hope you've enjoyed my sort of thoughts on the game as it's going at the moment. But that will be it for this time, and I will be producing a few more videos shortly. I'll be doing some STFs. I might do some storyline missions as well, actually, because that's one thing that I was definitely thinking about doing. So I will thank you very much for watching again, and I will see you all next time.